What's going on, guys? So been a minute, but we got the Acura RSX today. I'll be installing these bad boys here. Got some BC coilovers to replace these. Currently right now we're running the should be the TNs. So I had those on for a couple months, and I know that the whenever I was turning, it would just make a bunch of noise. Ended up checking them out and found that they were all just blown out. So instead of just getting the same one, swapping them back out, just went ahead and just picked up some BCs, and then we're gonna throw these in and we're gonna see how the quality improves. Battery died, but so far what I've taken off: tie rod. I already loosened up the top nuts for the strut, and I gotta take out these two bolts right here. I already took out these lines, 2 bolts right here, and it should be it. Hopefully I got this time-lapse thing pretty cool, but I'll see if I can readjust the camera right now. This is my first time filming in a couple months, so hopefully it comes out decent. There we go, we got one coil out. This thing is just destroyed. All that, just grease, or just the oil coming out from the shock. It's a new one. So right now I'm gonna set the camber. I'm gonna just leave it at 0. I'm gonna measure the overall height just to kind of get more or less the same ride height for the same one. But I might have to go back, loosen up this bottom one, and adjust the overall ride height. The spring tension, I might leave that one as is. This already came preloaded. That's pretty much tighten everything up. 2 bolts, nut for the tie rod. I mean, this thing is pretty simple. Probably the easiest ones I've ever done. That's all it is. Take out this one for the ABS. Brake line, these 2, the one up top, tie rod, that's it. The whole thing just drops out. Now I already put one in. So what I ended up doing is like pretty much I loosened up the collar, and then on the bottom of the actual body right here, I just pretty much put the collar level with all the threads on the bottom side, and I think that's gonna be kind of my baseline, because I'm not sure what exactly the height is. So what I did is I measured the overall height of the other one, try to match it to this one. So hopefully we can get the height as close as we can to where I had it. If not, I mean, we'll just take it back off, move a couple more threads, and then just keep going from there. But for right now, this should be around the same ride height. That's pretty much it. All I gotta do is the 2 or the 3 nuts on top. Opposite side is pretty much the same, but after this I'm gonna switch off to the rears, get those done, drop it down, and then see how the height is. Or I could probably just drop it down with one side on, see how that fits. Well, let's try that just in case, because what if it's way too low? I think it's gonna be still too high. That's my guess. Let me throw the wheel back on. Well, I mean, it does have a gap, but I guess if we look at the other side, it's pretty similar. You know what? So I guess from the floor to the fender, right on the center line, what about 25 1/4? That means I'm not going to be rubbing on anything, because I know before I was having a problem where I was kind of rubbing a little bit up here, but this should be good ride height. So I'm going to just go ahead and do the other side. Well, first I'm going to do the back. Do the back, then we'll switch over to the left side. I ended up taking out pieces of the trunk liner to get access to the shock bolts. Pretty much just removing this one. This piece is right here. This one's out. I had a couple clips that holds it on. The carpet just kind of rolled it out to the side. And then it was just this piece bunch of clips holding it on. Pop them out, swing it out. Then we have access to the top nuts right here. Should be the same thing on the opposite side. So let's pull off that plastic. But I want to do at least this side. I'll set up the camera. Well, first I'm gonna loosen these, then I'll set the camera back up, and then we'll do it from the bottom side. Yeah, here it is. Easy. 2 nuts on top, one on the bottom crossing. Quality difference right here on the BCs. Let's look at this. Measure it, set this one, lock the collar, slap it on. All right, ended up finishing this one, or at least the one side on the rear, the freshie. Now I'm gonna just repeat the exact same thing, the driver's side, same thing with the front on the driver's side, and then we'll get it on the floor, take it for a test drive, let everything settle down, and recheck all the fitment. I wanna make sure I'm not rubbing under just normal driving. If I'm rubbing right now, just driving normally, I'm gonna have to raise it up. Because for sure when I take it anywhere else, bumpy roads, things like that, it's just gonna mess up everything. And I don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll take it out for a test drive. Been a couple hours probably since the last update, but a couple things that happened is the alignment got way thrown off when I put those coils on. So I was just going back, seeing what happened, maybe something, I don't know what happened. Ended up just doing some little tape measure alignment. It's got 2 pieces of wood, one on either side, tape measure front to rear. So the front side measured 69 and the rear measured 70, front being the front of the car and the rear. So I just found the difference, half-inch difference. So I wanted to move it about 1/4, and then so half of the quarter, moved it 1/8 per side. So 1/8 I moved it in, I lied, moved it 1/8 of an inch out. Same thing for the right side, 1/8 of an inch out, and that got us right out our money at about 70 1/8. This is just for right now. I am gonna get a laser alignment and everything after I get the new tires and I get the new brakes installed. Still waiting on that. I'm probably gonna throw it into this video as well. Just got them painted. Yeah, it's gonna look real clean on this one. So it's the next day. I haven't been filming much, but I ended up fitting up the calipers with the wheels installed. So the wheels are off of Evo 9s, I want to say, 17x8 plus 38s, and they clear perfectly. So right here we got, I can barely put my finger in here, but they fit perfectly. Everything's just mocked up right now. All I have to do really is put the brake line on it and bleed it, but I just wanted to make sure everything fit. But look at that, it's perfect, and this is the color I chose with it. Got the wheel back off. Also, I forgot to mention that we're also throwing on some braided lines, and also going to fit up the new pads. New pads. Great thing about these is that these new pads just slide in, and they should slide in. I think because I have the rotor loose right now. Yeah, that's why it's not going in, but yeah, they'll just slide in like that. All right, just finished up the passenger side, and this is how everything looks all buttoned up. So obviously we got the 0708 Acura TL front rotor, Brembos, OE Brembo pads, and then some stainless steel lines. And then also on this one, kind of hard to see if I can get this to focus. So these are actually the air ducts off of the GT3. I'm not sure if it was the 991 or the 992, but got them routed as best I could, obviously just with some zip ties, so air just comes to the front, swoops in. Hopefully we do get great performance now with the brakes. Obviously big difference, big upgrade just from OEM. So now I'm just going to finish buttoning up everything else, just put the wheels on, bleed the brakes, and then take it for a test drive.